Two alien warriors. Two fathers. Two living weapons who could crush armies with their bare hands. Superman, the last son of Krypton. A hero raised with compassion, bound by morality, and powered by the sun itself. Omni-Man, a Viltrumite conqueror. A soldier bred for domination, raised in a culture where weakness is death and strength is absolute. Fans have asked it again and again. If these two ever fought, who really wins? To answer, we need to look beyond the fists. We need to understand their worlds. Superman's strength is nearly limitless under a yellow sun. He can shatter planets, bend time, and hear heartbeats across galaxies. He doesn't tire easily. He heals faster than almost any wound can harm him. But most importantly, Superman holds back. Every fight, every swing, he restrains himself to avoid destroying those around him. Omni-Man is different. He doesn't hold back. He doesn't hesitate. He's part of the Viltrumite Empire, a race built on eugenics, war, and genocide. The weak are culled. The strong survive. And Omni-Man is one of their strongest. We've seen what he can do. He tore through his own world's heroes without mercy. He destroyed armies single-handedly. He slaughtered thousands in minutes and didn't blink. So what happens when these two collide? The fight would be brutal. It wouldn't be like Superman versus Batman, strategy versus power. It wouldn't be like Superman versus Goku, growth versus perfection. This would be raw force against raw force. Imagine Metropolis under siege. Superman descends, cape rippling, voice calm but commanding. This ends now. Omni-Man hovers above, fists clenched, eyes filled with fury. You're protecting a weak species, Kal-El. Step aside or die with them. There's no compromise. Only war. The first clash would shake the earth. Buildings leveled. Skyscrapers split in half. The shockwave felt for miles. Superman pushes Omni-Man into the stratosphere, fists like thunder. Omni-Man doesn't flinch. He counters, driving Superman through the crust of the planet. The ground splits. The oceans roar. And humanity watches gods tear their world apart. But this fight isn't just about destruction. It's about who can last. Viltrumites are powerful, yes. But they still have limits. They tire. They bleed. They age. Even Omni-Man, for all his strength, can be hurt. Superman, his limits are undefined. His power doesn't come from a warrior's heritage. It comes from the sun, and as long as he's under it, his strength is virtually infinite. But does that mean he wins easily? Not at all. Because Omni-Man fights without restraint. And he will do whatever it takes. Kill innocents, level cities, break bones, to win. Superman won't. That's his strength and his weakness. The longer the battle rages, the clearer the difference becomes. Omni-Man is savage. Every strike is meant to kill. He gouges at Superman's eyes. He aims for the throat, the spine, the organs. Decades of conquest have taught him to end fights fast and brutally. Superman resists. Not just the blows, but the temptation to become what Omni-Man is. He matches power with power, but his strikes are measured, controlled. Because deep down, Clark Kent is still that farm boy from Kansas. A man who believes killing is never the answer. And that's what makes this fight so dangerous. Omni-Man doesn't care about morality. If Metropolis burns, so be it. If billions die, they're just casualties in his mission. Superman, meanwhile, must fight while protecting everything around him. That means splitting his focus. And in a war between gods, distraction is death. But here's where the tide turns. Superman's strength doesn't fade. Every second in the sun recharges him, refuels him. Omni-Man, on the other hand, begins to feel the weight of his own body. His muscles strain. His breath grows heavier. Not weakness, but limits. Superman has no such ceiling. When pushed to his peak, he can move planets. He can survive supernovas. He can outlast beings who bend reality itself. And Omni-Man, for all his brutality, for all his cunning, he's still bound by Viltrumite biology. He can't rise beyond what he was bred to be. That's the final difference. Superman fights because he chooses to. Omni-Man fights because he was born to. One is destiny. The other is choice. And choice is stronger. The end would come suddenly. A final clash, faster than light, shaking the very core of the earth. Omni-Man would fall. Not because he lacked strength, but because he lacked restraint. Because against Superman, savagery isn't enough. Superman would stand battered, bloody, but unbroken. He would look down at Omni-Man and do what Omni-Man never could. Spare his enemy. Because victory isn't just about surviving the fight. It's about what you protect in the process. So who really wins? In sheer power, Superman. In spirit, Superman. In every way that matters, the Man of Steel stands taller.